Good morning, everyone. It's a little tricky with the sun out this morning, so I'm changing the angle up a little bit, so hopefully that will help. We have a kiln opening here, getting ready for my show in downtown Grand Rapids at the downtown market up in the greenhouse area where they have weddings and stuff. This was actually my first show last year that I did, and I did really well. I think I made $3,600 in a one-day show last year, so I'm hoping that we'll have the same success this year. In this kiln top shelf here, we have a bunch of egg mugs. So at last week's show, it was a couple weeks ago, I was in Brighton. And it's a guild show, so it's great. It had 170 something artists. And I think there were like 13 ceramic artists. So it was really fun to get talking to them and like learning which shows I should and shouldn't be doing. And they all said that that hot work show that I did in Orchard Lakes, they said there are no ceramic artists there because they don't let each other do that show. So they were like, friends don't let friends do that show. And then my Traverse City show last weekend, the weekend before that, it was okay. That was by Danielle's Blue Ribbon group or whatever. I also learned that you should not do them. There was a glass artist across from me, and she said if she hadn't already paid for the show, and there's no, like if you back out, usually you can get like a certain percentage of your money back. She said there's no refunds at all. So she was there because she didn't want to waste her money. But she was at a different show by Danielle's Blue Ribbon. And it was supposed to be a Friday, Saturday, Sunday show. And on Saturday evening, the person running it came up to everyone and said, there's just not enough traffic. So I'm just going to have you all go home tonight and not come back tomorrow. So she was like, I'm like 2.5 hours away from home. I got a hotel already. And so everyone was really mad that she just made them go home and not come back. So I thought that was super interesting. So I won't be doing her shows anymore just because I don't want anything like that to happen to me anymore. But I did decent. I think it was a 2-day show, and I think I made like $2,000-ish, which is a little bit less than what I usually do. I think my average has been about $1,500 a day. So yeah. Anyway, Brighton was good. Lots of cash there. Not very many Square sales or whatever. Not many Venmo sales either. So interesting change of events. I did sell all my egg mugs in Traverse City. So I didn't have egg mugs for Brighton, but I was sure to make enough, hopefully, for this weekend show. I have them in 3 different colors. This is all stroke and coat. My Blue Heaven as like the base color. This one is, what is this one? It's not Teal Next Time because that one's green. This is Blue Yonder. And these are both not speckled. I decided just to go not speckled. And then the third one is a phase glaze from Amical, Floating Lavender. So they all look really cute together. So if anyone wanted to get them as a set, they would go together. And I did 1 pound mugs and 1 1/4 pound mugs. Let me see. I'm trying to simplify it down so that I just have 2 options as far as size goes. So here's a 1 pound mug versus 1 1/4. I know the sun's a little tricky, but maybe you can tell from the top. The width of this one is a lot bigger around. So I'll probably do $40 for this mug and $35 for this mug. Last year at the show, I had a lot of this size, but maybe a little bit shorter for $25. And they all sold. So I think I'm just going to go up a little bit. That way, if they don't sell, then I have still made a little bit of money and I still have inventory for the next show. So there's a few more egg mugs on this shelf. And then other than egg mugs, I have a couple bubble tumblers that I ran out of white clay, so I did them on brown clay. 2 more egg mugs. And I did the same honey flux and stroke and coat combo. And they just get a little bit more, oops, I'm blocking the sun here, a little bit more speckly almost. So the honey flux just kind of floats more. It's more white on the inside and then colored on the outside. So they're not as bright as doing the white ones, obviously, but still fun. And these ones usually sell no matter what color I do on them. I put a little silicone reusable straw in there to go with it. Okay, and then lastly, my friends asked me to make them. I had these diner mugs that I made that are this new curved shape. They're really fun to hold. I had a friend ask me for 5 Lions mugs. We're in Michigan, so Detroit Lions mugs, and then a friend asked me for a Packers mug and a Notre Dame mug. So I actually made a stencil and then went over top of it with underglaze just to give it more saturation. So I used just a dark blue on the inside, which was Sorcerer's Stone from Coyote, and this one is just Stroke and Coat Dandelion to go with my Green Bay one. And the other 2 things on this shelf are little like incense holders, little chimeneas. Really cute. This one has grapple on the inside. It didn't do very thick. You can't really see it anyway because of the sun, but it just kind of, where it pooled in the corners in here is kind of purple, but this is that floating lavender. Really cute. And I just did a braid scratch and score attachment there. And then I even did the bottom. They all my mugs this time. So I met a person in Brighton, and he got a double booth, and it was all pottery, and this is all he did. And he suggested that I go back to this wiggle bottom so that I don't have to take the extra time to trim it all. And so then I just like clean up the edges. So it kind of just makes me able to have a little bit more time attaching the handles. I mean, I think I did generally for like a 28 batch of mugs takes me like 6 hours to add handles, and these little thumb rests add a little bit of extra time too, but so many people comment on the little thumb rest that I will probably just do those forever and ever. But anyway, that is shelf 1. We'll move to shelf 2. So last year at this show, I made these little tiny ghosts. This year I dipped them in my satin matte black and then just wiped back all the space so that they just have like a little bit of black. Some of them have more depending on how many creases they had. I think last year I made like 40 of these little guys and they sold out in less than 2 hours. So this year I made a lot more. I probably made 100, but they're all different sizes. And I also got a mold from Noel molds, and it came with 3 different little ghosts with arms. Let's see, I think these are the 3. So I got a little slip cast mold, and it comes with these 3 little guys. They're like large, medium, small, and you can get these really cute little like lights that can go in here. They're like this big. I'll add a little link in the description, and they come with extra batteries even. They're not very expensive. So I thought those would be fun. I also I did more over there with a clear coat. So these are just porcelain and they don't have clear on them. But the ones I have clear on, I'm going to put these little overglazed decals on to make them look like they're like in a little floral sheet. So I'm just going to like cover all of them with like little tiny flowers. So we'll see if that turns out. I've had issues. I think it says go to cone 016 for the ones I bought, and I got them on Etsy. So they're not from like a well-known I think it was like printable. No, not printables. I can't remember, but it wasn't like Elon or what's the other one? Sandbo. It's not from those. So we'll see how they do. I've had issues where the clear paper doesn't burn all the way off and it looks kind of funny. So we'll see how that goes. And then the other little ghosts I made, I think are so cute. I just took like a little chunk of clay that I had left over from rolling out clay, and I just balled it up and then shoved my finger in there. And like, then I set it on the surface and like went like this. And then poked his little eye holes. So those ones are so cute. And I have a bunch on the shelf. I'm sure you're not going to want to like see everyone, but I just like that people will have options of buying rolled out ghosts, little hand formed ghosts, and little slip poured ghosts. The other thing I have on this shelf is some more egg mugs, because everyone is obsessed with egg mugs. And these are all the 1 pound ones with, I call it a wiggle bottom. I don't know. It's like a wiggle wire. So there's the 3 colors. I know the sun is being tricky, but purple, blue, and light blue. They're kind of tealish blue. All right, the whole shelf is, oh, you know what else I did is these cute little, I did like little cat ears on some of them because I thought that would be cute. I kind of wanted to do dog ears and then have like a little tail like indent too, but I just, maybe for my next show. I have another show October 4th, downtown Grand Rapids for Art Prize, so maybe I'll make some for that, but I'm just trying to hustle along because I got a double booth for this downtown show. Since I did so well last year, I thought maybe I could have some more space, but I'm struggling to keep up, so I just kind of did things as quickly as I could, but I'm just going to clear out the rest of these ghosts on this shelf, and we'll go to the last shelf, which I think is mostly bubble tumblers. Okay, and like, welcome to Michigan. An hour ago it was 50 degrees, and now I'm like roasting. So sorry, I lost the shirt. Okay, like I said, this is all bubble tumblers actually. So this is just honey flux, and then it looks like maybe oh, you know what I did when I did this? So when I was doing the egg mugs, I just used whatever was left over, and I just kind of like mixed it together and scooped it out and put it on here. So this is going to be a mix of Blue Yonder, My Blue Heaven, and I think I squeezed in some Blueberry Hill because I had a customer at the last show ask me for Blueberry Hill. Oh, and then I did a little Melancholy too. So this one has some Melancholy in it. That pink in there is Melancholy. It's always really pretty, stays nice when you fire it up a little bit higher. Not that hot, but the shelf was a little hotter, so I decided to add a glove. So pretty. That one dripped a little bit too. I love that blue, look at that. So I think when my honey flux was on, so usually when I glaze these, I dump in the honey flux and then I plug the hole and then I tip it until it reaches this, and then I just turn it so that it pours out this little space so I can like get it back in the next one or like in the bowl or whatever. But I spilled a whole bunch all over my table, and this was one that like leaked everywhere. So those were like drips as it came down and like instantly dried because it was bisque. So that actually looks kind of cool. I think on the next ones, I might even like intentionally add more honey flux at the top because that looks pretty cool. I'm always scared though, like with honey flux especially, like is it gonna run off and like melt to the bottom of my kiln? This one's definitely Blueberry Hill. It's weird because it got like a little yellowy. I wonder if that's just the honey flux. That's hot. The top is pretty though. That Blueberry Hill really shines. All right, there's just a few more bubble tumblers, and I sell out of bubble tumblers pretty much every show that I do. So I did 16. I only did one. So I went to go make it like this, like I did for the that small wheel video, not the mini wheel, but the smaller Viva wheel or whatever it is, where I like curved over the top and then I trimmed out the lid. And they just, to me, they get thick because I'm throwing with like nice moist clay. And then like as I push this over, it kind of squashes it all down and it gets thicker. So I just decided to go back to like the lids that I just make a circle cookie cutter that will cover the top, and then I just cut them in half so that I can have two. I don't know. I feel like this looks nicer to have that pretty like curve, and I guess I could make a pattern and cut it out, but I think throwing it all in one piece was just like a little bit too hard for me, so I stopped doing that. This one's really pretty. It's got some nice pinks in it. Anyway, I only have 3 more. And I only used 2 different ribs this time. I think usually I have 5 different types of ribs, but I just kind of wanted to go quickly. So I used one with, I think, 6 bumps and one with 4 bumps. So here's the 2 different types. So this one has 4 big bumps and this one has like 6 little ones. I like them both. I like them all. And I honestly can't really tell the difference unless you look up close, but I think the ones with the bigger bumps are more impactful, and maybe, I don't know. I guess they both feel really great on your hand. I don't know. Anyway, that's it. That's the whole kiln load. Oh, I did drop a little baby ghost in here. So I'm gonna quick reload this. I probably have a kiln and a half worth of stuff like ready to go in right now, and I still have a half a dining room table full of stuff that needs to be glazed. So I probably have 3 more kiln loads to go this week. I probably won't get it all done by Sunday, but I'll have enough to like fill my tables and stuff. I still have some from my last show, so I'll be okay. If you haven't already, hit the follow button, hit the like button, maybe leave a comment and say hi. If I've seen you at my shows, hi. If you haven't seen me at my shows, come see me. Like I said, I'll be in Grand Rapids this weekend at the downtown market up in the greenhouse, and October 4th, I will be downtown Grand Rapids near Rosa Parks Circle for the downtown market, for the art prize show. And that's it. So I'll see you next week for another kiln opening.